Hey guys, just a quick one here. I got an old cobbler's hammer in, and that's the old handle here, and it was in pretty rough shape, and I cut the end off. I don't like them long like that, so I cut this off. Don't use it. I like my hammer handles a little bit shorter. They're easier for me to control, and I can still get down with them if I need to. But I won this at auction. I wanted a cobbler's handle to work on some of my leather stuff. When you're tamping down your stitches. So I dressed that up, made that nice and flat, and I'll probably take care of the OD of the hammer here. But I stripped this hammer handle down, and I'm going to try my iron acetate my way. There's, there's a million ways to do iron acetate, or what do they call it, Vinagaroon. I've had this batch here now for about a year, iron acetate, and I got it in my gallon pickle jar. I mix it by the gallon, and I use the strong stuff. I use like 45% or better. I think this batch was 80%, or I don't know. It was up there as far as the vinegar concentration, and it sits for a while when I don't use it. So you give it a good stir. When I mixed it, I did half vinegar, and then I'd put in a whole pad of 4-aught steel wool, and I would let it dissolve. And it takes 3, 4, 5 days to fully dissolve. And then I would add a little bit more steel wool, a little bit more, so you can see mine is really potent and it's really dark. Can you guys see that? Yeah, that is seriously dark, and it's potent, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And I got a shop fan going. I got the door cracked. I got my Bigfoot's lantern heater going on over here, so I got good ventilation. You know what? I'm too goddamn old to be worrying about shit like that. If I was going to die of exposure from chemicals, dust, and shit, I would have done that a long time ago. Anyway. All right, so you give it a good stir. Sometimes you get chunks and clumps in the bottom. Just mix those up. And this has been sanded. I think it's hickory, but I don't know. So I'm getting ready to see if the iron acetate won't make a liar out of me. But I think the key is I don't use no heat guns, and I don't use anything. I just coat it on there. And then I just watch it turn color. And when it gets to a certain point where it starts to get pink and dusty, then I switch over straight to my raw linseed oil. Not only does it neutralize it, but it starts to preserve it and seal it. So I get 2 birds with 1 rock, so to speak. So let's give this a try. Sometimes I use cheap sponge brushes. I don't think I have my cotton swabs down here, do I? I don't dare try to move around and knock this new stand down. I went out and bought a new stand after that last video debacle where everything came crashing down. I got tired of it. I chucked that thing, and I got this fancy schmancy Chinesium telescoping tower. You can use it on top of the bench, or you can open it up, and it opens up to 56 or 57 inches. It's got a gimbal on the end and this pretty handy dandy clamp that really it looks fairly solid. It's aluminum, and it's gripping the phone real well. Now if I don't bump into it like the klutz that I am, maybe I'll have some luck. All right. Yeah, I took my cotton swabs up to the other shop. All right, well, let's just use this. Brushes. Good old cheap sponge brushes. Now I'm just hoping that my phone camera holds out and doesn't stop filming on its own. I think it's possessed. But yeah, you just these little foam brushes. That's it. Get a box of them for $1.99 or something. All right. Let's see if she works. Let's see if my solution is still got some chutzpah. And it still works. When it's fresh, it's really aggressive, and it works fast. Oh. See? I bumped it already. God bless America. Jeez, swear to God, I'm wearing clown shoes. Son of a... All right, let's try it. And all this is, I got it on the kerf cut, and I got a wedge down here in my vise, so that it kind of holds it for me. It works a lot better with axe handles, put it that way. But let's see what she does. Like I said, I don't really know what kind of wood this is, but let's put my elixir on here and see what it does. Now, in the beginning, I'm just getting it on there, but what I'm looking for is it literally turns dark pink and it starts to get dusty. That's the only word that I can use to describe it. And when it gets there, that tells me, and it starts to get dark, really dark, and it brings out the yellows and the reds, and the tannins are definitely working. So we'll see if it happens. It better happen, otherwise I'm full of shit. I'm not full of it, am I? Yes, I am. All right. Let the process work, I've been told. Let it work. Because I get cynical and I get impatient. It's like, damn it, it's not working. And I turn around and I'm putzing with something else, and then I turn around and it's pink and dusty. I'm like, oh! I hope I got it on the other side. If I don't, because I am not going near that camera stand. All right, let's just see what happens. What's everybody been doing since the Christmas holiday and New Year's and everything? 2025 left. 2026 seems to come in like an artillery shot, don't you think? All sorts of crazy shit going on. Don't let it get you down. Just take care of you and yours. Pay the bills, work. Put your head on a swivel. And just take care of your own. And we'll all get through this one way or the other. We ain't getting out of it alive. But we'll get through it. All right. Hope everybody's safe and happy out there, wherever you're all at. Now look at that. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm not going to touch this camera, but I think it's changing. Takes a little bit. Hey, can you guys tell what kind of wood that is? I suppose not. I'm still not going to touch the camera and zoom in. I am skittish. But now you play the waiting game. I've done this on a few handles with this batch. I'm telling you, it's dramatic. 1 minute it kind of looks like that. The next minute it is dusty pink. And it's got this beautiful antique patina on it. And I neutralize it with my raw linseed oil and my splash of turpentine. And then I leave that linseed oil on there, and it's done. Later on, I'll come back the next day, try it, blot it, and it looks fantastic. It's changing. It's definitely changing. I don't think the camera shows it very well, but I can tell you it's changing. Now, I cut a Purple Heart wedge for this thing, just for the hell of it, the halibut. And this will be my cobbler / leathersmith tampon hammer. You don't use these for your stamps and your punches, though. You don't use that. You want your cobbler hammer to be nice and flat and shiny and as best you can. This thing is older than me. So I just cleaned up the end and took the rust off, gave her a buff, and I'm still not done buffing. Yeah. I had one a long time ago, and, during my world travels, moving here and there, I don't know, I lost a bunch of shit. And my cobbler hammer was one of them. I'm like, God damn it. Well, they're easy to find. I think I got this one at that auction off of the Flea Bay for like $10. I'm like, I'll take that. Thank you very much. I'm also working on Joe's plum. He sent me this. Oh, see it changing? See, it's turning red up here at the... the bottom of the handle. You see that red or pink, like maroon? It's turning. God, I wish I had a better camera, but it's definitely going. It hasn't gotten dusty yet, but I mean, when it happens, it's fast. Anyway, I'm working on. Joe sent me a plum Connie, a 3-pounder. I think it's a tad. It's a bit of a sub 3-pounder, but it's a cute little thing. Let's see, where is it? You know, Joe and his shenanigans. He fails to tell me that this little blankety blank is made of kryptonite. But I've been at it. I got after it. I'm not quite done yet, but it looked like somebody had been using this as a Tommy and pounding either roof nails or railroad spikes with it. There were some big ass gouges and gashes, dings, dents, and it had been through a lot. So I got after it, and this thing is hard as hell. But we're getting there. You know, I'm not done yet. I got a little handwork to do on there to clean it up. I think the edge is good. Polished it, you know, give him a little something. You know, us guys, we like shiny shit, so I'm sure he's no different. I got a little bit of handwork to do on it, and then where the hell's the? Oh, there it is. There's the plum. Plum, 3-pounder. So I'm getting there. I got a text this morning, an individual that was in dire need of some wedges, so I said I would set this aside because I made some good progress in one day and got those. I was worried about the dings. I took care of those in about a minute. So this is a nice little axe. He wants the patina to remain. He wants the pole to stay how it is. That's fine. And when I get done with the edge here and I put the final strop on it, then I'm going to make him a mask. So fun little project. And I think he's cooking me a handle, but I'm not sure. You'll have to ask him. So that's what I'm doing. But, and I'm there. See, it's turning. I hope you guys can see that. That is so cool. It is turning that really rich, I don't know, I'm going to say East Coast Pennsylvania Dutch brown. There, I just made that shit up. And when I get it all done and dried and oiled, and then I'll throw a little conservationist wax on there, very little, and give it a good burnishment, they turn out so cool. And I think this one's going to go. I think it's not going to disappoint. The bottom is already turning that dusty pink. And I don't know what that is. If somebody knows, please let me know, because I just call it dusty pink. And that's just what it's going to stay until somebody tells me otherwise. Now I'll sit here. It's definitely turning. You can't see it, but it's like it gets this little micro coating of pink fur on it. That sounds kind of weird, don't it? But whatever. I don't give a rat's ass. That's what it looks like. It looks like little pink fuzz. It's definitely turning up here. I won't let it go too much farther than this because I don't want it to turn pink, red. But I figured I'd show you the little experiment inside the wedge job I'm doing. Whew, I'm going to put that cap on. That stuff just smells like some rich pickles. And for you guys that haven't made iron acetate before, when you do make it, don't put the cover on tight. When you get your mix all done and everything and got your steel wool put in it, let it vent, because it will create gases. And what do gases do? Like my gut after I eat, it expands, and it'll blow up. I mean, like a bomb. Ask me how I know. Yeah. Asking for a friend. Oh, man, did it go. And it was the middle of the night. I didn't hear nothing. The old lady didn't hear nothing. But she gets up and goes to work, and I get a text. What exactly were you doing in the shop last night? I'm like, man, that's a loaded question. Nothing. I was just putzing with axes and stuff like that. She goes, it smells like really strong vinegar, and the floor in the shop is brown, and there's glass all over the place. I went, oh no. I don't know, hon. The dogs did it. I left after 5 minutes. I don't know what they were doing. I'll go out there and check later. But anyway, yeah, the gallon jug exploded, and iron acetate went all over the place. Luckily, it didn't get on our rig, but it got everywhere else. All right, there it is, guys. See the pink dust, the pink fuzz? You can see it beginning, and it's starting to travel down as it dries. You can see how this is turning. Yeah, it even feels dusty. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just dust, pink dust. I don't know how else to, but it is definitely turning. That is a dusty, chalky surface coating, surface something. I don't know, but you can see it turning, and now it's starting to go down. It's turning. Remember what color it was now when we started. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit more. That's going to look, I wonder if I'm going to switch to a different wedge, and that Purple Heart might be too, or not enough contrast between the two. That's pretty, well, I don't know. I made it already, to hell with it. It's just my hammer. And here's my raw linseed oil and splash of turpentine, and that's going to be, what do you call it, my neutralizer. Now, sometimes to stop it in a New York minute, I have my water and oil, water-soluble coolant here. Water-soluble coolant. It's water with a little bit of water-soluble oil in it. That's why it's blue. And if it gets too far ahead of me, like it looks like it's doing now, I'll just hit it with water real quick and rub it down, and that'll stop it. That'll neutralize it. But I'm going to let it go. I'm going to see what's going on here. This is interesting. Got my initials stamped up here, of course. The Great Santini. I mean, MS. You guys remember that movie? Robert Mitchum, The Great Santini. No, you guys are not old enough, but you old geezers out there probably remember it was a great flick. Old Vietnam War pilot, Devil Dog, War Dog. But the war ended and he didn't have nothing to do. It just showed how it affected him and his family. It's a good flick. Check it out. The Great Santini. Look at that go. So you can see I haven't done any heat lamps, heat guns, torches. I'm not really into. I mean, I've charred a couple handles, but in a few spots, like towards the neck and down at the handle, but not really into charring. I like the look, but I haven't got to that point yet. And I think I'm out of gas anyway. Yeah, my pop torch is up on the shelf, and the tank is gone. So haven't done any charring lately, but it is cool. There's certain places for it. All right, you guys obviously see it turning, right? So this is all I've done, and I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to neutralize it with the water quick. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to switch right to my raw linseed oil, because when the water hits it, you got to let it dry a little bit. And my linseed oil will do the same thing. If I can get the top off, there we go. And just do this. There we go. And that neutralizes. And if you really want to get going, just say to hell with it. And use your hands. Now some will come off. That's fine. Again, if you want, when you're done with it and you wipe it down, dry it off, and you're looking at the final product, and if you don't like it, take it off. use some light sandpaper, sand it down, take some off, and just do it again till you like it. Oh yeah, I like that. I don't know what it is, but you know, axe handles are axe handles, tool handles are tool handles, but I've always liked this brown from the old days. You know what I mean? Look at that. And this is just a little hammer handle, that's all. Dry it off a little. Not too shabby. I'm all right with that. And you know, and then when it's dry, there's these two holes in there. I don't know what they're from. I don't care. I left them. It's part of the character of the hammer. Yeah, it's a little wet yet still, but that'll change and it'll look a lot better. There's splotches, but it's just wet. I'm good with that. I guarantee you, once this dries and I throw a little conservative wax on there, or conservationist wax, crystalline wax, and give it a little burnish, this thing will look great. I'll show you the finished product. Where is the... Whoa, 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 whoa. That'll go on like that. Got the kerf ready to go. There you have it, folks. Well, I thought it was going to be a short video, but it turns out it's like 21, almost 22 minutes. So, all right, yeah, you guys all be good, and I'll catch up with you later. See you later.